Let's win a collector booster box of Edge of Eternities. Alright folks, this is the Arena Direct event, where if you win, if you get 7 wins before 2 losses, you get an actual real-life collector booster box. These are real Magic cards that you can win on Arena. I love this event. It is so much fun. Playing competitive limited is one of my favorite things to do. It costs 6,000 gems, alright? So it's a little pricey to get into, and it's pretty unforgiving because you know, after 2 losses, you're just out. But if you don't even get the booster box, there are so many, there's so many gems that you can get out of this. The gravy train is at 4 wins. If you get to 4 wins, you get all your money back, plus some packs. So it's a really top loaded event. So if you can do well, you can string some of these together and win some packs. So we're playing Edge of Eternities sealed. So we'll get 6 booster packs. We got to build a deck out of it and then see if we can win. Okay. Moment of truth. What are our rares going to be? Come on, give me something good. I need something good. All right, okay. This looks pretty awesome. We have amazing blue-red rares like Quantum Riddler and Nova Hellkite. Awesome. Pain for All, big fan of this card. Requiem Monolith, I do really like as well. Sunset Saboteur has not been super great. These are not lands of the colors we necessarily want, but it's always good to have lands. And then Lightstall Inquisitor and these are not so exciting, but a blue-red deck looks pretty interesting right here. I think we got something going. All right, so to start us off, most of the time I want to go check my lands and see what we have. We already kind of looked at it, except for I didn't realize we have 2 command bridges, so those might be helpful, as well as the Stomping Ground and this Watery Grave. So let's see what the rest of the cards are in our packs, and I'm going to look at all the removal I have in all my different colors. So I have a Seam Rip, Emergency, we got the All Fates Stalker in white. Then we move on to blue. We have a Divert Disaster, and that is... no, we have a Lost in Space, and that's all the blue ones we have. Okay, so 2, but not super excited with them. Black looks like we don't have much of anything in removal, which really makes me uninterested in black. Red, we have Bombard, and the Pain for All, and that is it in red. Okay. And then in green, we really don't have that much removal either. Oh, geez. Okay. Dang. So our removal is looking pretty shoddy. Pretty shoddy, all around. That's kind of brutal. That's a little brutal. The most we have is in white. With some pretty good white cards. I do like that. The rest of the cards in white that could be interesting are like the Dockworker Drone I like. Night Luminary is awesome. And Sunstar Lightsmith, one of my favorites. But the other ones are cards I really don't care that much about. Lex Knight Breacher, not super exciting. Zealous Display, I don't know if we have enough 2-drops. So let's start off trying to build the deck we thought we wanted to build, which is the blue-red deck. All right, so these are all our blue-red cards, as well as our colorless cards. So let's look at what seems interesting. We definitely want Terrapack Intimidator, the Zookeeper Mechan we love. We want Bombard, we want Pain for All. I want to play Divert Disaster as well as Lost in Space. We want Nova Hellkite, we want Quantum Riddler. We want to play probably Memoriam Team Leader, the Bombard. Oh, we have 2 Bombards. Oh, I didn't realize we have 2. Oh, that's really nice, actually. That changes things. That changes things, actually. That's nice. We can play... Oh, we can play Titan. I like Titan. And Shieldmate is definitely playable. Operative is not really this type of deck. And then we have the Steel Swarm Operator I'm iffy about. Mental Modulation is something we could think about playing with some of the stuff we have. I think we'll play a Pangolin. We'll play the... Tiger. We can play the Technician. I don't hate the Technician. Or the Turbo Drone. Maybe we could take 1 Frontline War Rager. We could play a Sweeper just to get some more artifacts in here, but we don't have a ton of things that care about that. Really what we care about is just smashing face with flyers. That sounds like a blast to me. So maybe we do want... we might actually have to play a Null just because we need more removal of any kind. So we'll throw one of those in there. We can play... we could play Nutrient Block, but I'm not obsessed with that card. Full Bore actually sounds kind of interesting with both of these warp targets, so I kind of like that. Mental Modulation still draws us cards. We're playing 12 creatures, 8 non-creatures. Interceptor Mechan is a really strong card. We do have the Watery Grave for it, so there is a little bit of hope of trying to splash that. We won't play High Market, and we have like one card that makes landers. So splashing a black card seems a little iffy. Yeah, it seems a little iffy to me. And then we could splash green cards. Is there any green cards that would be worth playing? Like Atmospheric Greenhouse, meh. The Scoutlander, meh. Yeah, we don't want to play any of those green cards. I guess we have the Command Bridges. Okay, so actually Interceptor does not seem like the worst card to add to this deck. Because then we're playing Watery Grave and 2 Command Bridges, which then makes me kind of want to play like Nutrient Block or something. So the Command Bridges can tap something when it comes into play. That is kind of interesting. I don't think we're going to try to play any more black cards. I think it's really just the Interceptor. Just because Interceptor does get back our actual, like our Nova Hellkites and our Quantum Riddler, and that's how we're going to win the game, is we have to play these big creatures. And that's what we're really hoping to be able to do. With that, I wonder if we just do want to play the Steel Swarm Operator. It doesn't necessarily ramp us, because we don't have any like artifacts that are strong up high in our mana curve. It does help us do the Zookeeper thing. And it's just a 1/1 in the air. We could also just play the Ilvoy Galeblade and then be like, sure. Has a similar use case as what we're trying to use it for. It does crack lander tokens, but we only have one thing that does lander stuff, so I'm less interested in that. I guess if we have a null, well, I guess this does get rid of Banishing Light, so maybe we should just keep the null as opposed to playing Drill Too Deep. Play the Galeblade. We have 3 lands, so 22 cards currently. And the last one could just be like a Wormwall Sweeper or something. Nutrient Block. Does just draw cards. I kind of hate it. Yeah, maybe we take out the Mental Modulation because we're not doing the operative thing. And we play a Wormwall Sweeper and then a... do we play Nutrient Block too? Or do we just play like the Sentinel? But these other ones are like, I don't like the Chronologist is so bad. Don't want to play that. It could just be Nutrient Block for the Command Bridges, honestly. Like turn 1 Nutrient Block, turn 2 Command Bridge, play a 1-drop. Maybe we take out 1 Command Bridge, and so we have 2 sources like this, and then 1 Swamp, and that'll be our deck. And we play Nutrient Block. Because then we have 14 and 9, which is acceptable. Like, this could be the deck, and we play a Swamp. This is interesting. It is all of our bestest cards, and we are splashing for 1 card because I have lands to do it. So that makes me a lot more interested in trying to splash this card. Also, this is a very strong card that does draw you something and something you'd like to play late in the game, which makes me want to splash it. So this is very interesting. I like this idea right here. I think this is what we're going to go with, something in this world, but let's look at a couple other options before we lock it in. All right, we do have 2 Sammy Ship's Engineers, so there is a possibility we could play like a red-white deck and try to see if there's something going on here. Let's see what red-white cards we care about. We can play these. We play all of those, probably this guy, this, and this. Well, that's really everything. We could play a full bore if we wanted to. We'd probably actually play Zealous Display as well. What are we at, 18 and 5? Wait, what? That seems like a crazy number. Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. Lots and lots of creatures. And Sammy Ship's Engineer makes more creatures. We don't have a ridiculous number of 2-drops, but we do have like a front. We have multiples of this frontline War Rager. I would like some other ways to tap my creatures though. So maybe we do want to take out one of these at least, and then I do enjoy Lightsmith, but maybe in this deck we have too many 4-drops. Can be warped for 2. This can be warped for 2. This can be warped for 2. It's not really a 2-drop though. Same with this one. Okay, this is kind of interesting here. And then we would play like a Wormwall Sweeper or something, just so we have like a way to tap our creatures without having to attack. Pangolin might not be amazing in this deck, actually. Maybe we take out the Pangolin. It is just a 2-drop, which would be nice, but now we're at 22 cards. We could just play 2 Wormwall Sweepers and be like, this is the plan. The plan is get stuff on the board, tap it, make a bunch of dudes, and go wide. I actually don't hate this idea. We do get to play 2 of our rares that we care about, Nova Hellkite and the Pain for All. And we get to flood the board using Sammy's Engineer to do a bunch of stuff. And it feels a little less like bad, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 removal spells, 5 removal spells, plus just a bunch of stuff. Oh, 6 removal spells, because Pain for All. Okay, that makes me a bit more interested. It's once again... This is not necessarily a really strong archetype, though, which is what's hard about this. And I don't know if we have a lot of the pieces, but I'm just nervous about trying to put this together. I wonder if just jamming the other deck that we have is just better than this. Because we get to play, like, all of our best cards are still here. We're just missing, like, All Fate Stalker is really good. And then, like, Sammy, I guess. But if we get Sammy and all of our creatures are dead, like, he's just terrible. So maybe this is a little iffy. This is like a really weird pool, because normally I want to build a bunch of different decks, but I'm not interested in, like, I'm not really interested in any of my black cards. They just seem kind of bad, besides like Requiem Monolith, but I don't really feel like I have the other pieces for it. All my best black cards are like X ones. And then green is missing like a ton of stuff that we care about. We have like a couple spacecrafts that I don't like, and like Pull Through the Weft, which I also don't like. And like we do have Stomping Ground, but like I don't think there's any green cards I really want to be playing. I honestly think that first deck that we built is probably the best, so I think we should just go back to that. Alright folks, this is the deck we came up with. We were playing blue-red with a splash for black because we have Watery Grave, 2 command bridges, and a swamp. We took out the Annul, so we have a Nutrient Block instead, just because we could turn 1 Nutrient Block, turn 2 Command Bridge, and then tap the Nutrient Blocker. Do kind of whatever we feel like, so it gives us a little bit more utility to be able to use the Command Bridges, because I think they're going to be really helpful. Even just getting our colors on time is nice. But we have, like, the game plan is, like, play big flyers, like the Quantum Riddler and the Nova Hellkite, win the game with these bombs. If they die, we can play Interceptor, get them back, beat up our opponents, and then hopefully just kill big stuff that's in the air, and that is what we're hoping to do. We don't have a lot of removal that just gets rid of anything. Like, it's really just Lost in Space, and then, like, maybe Divert Disaster, so we might have to be a little, you know, good with our timing on stuff. But overall, we're hoping that we can just smash in the air, kill our opponents that way, and then they won't be able to keep up. This hand looks pretty good. We can play the Zookeeper Mechan on 2. We could also Command Bridge into something to help us play the Titan, so we have all of our colors. I think this is totally a keepable hand. I like this a lot. Ooh, well, we're definitely playing Zookeeper on 2. Opponent's playing green. Green-red. Alright, that's pretty good. Terra Botanist, pretty strong. We'll swamp Zookeeper, pass. Because we could War Rager, Command Bridge, tap the War Rager, put a counter on it. No blocks, I'm not actually dealing with that at all. I'm going to War Rager, Command Bridge, tap the War Rager, pass the turn, get a counter on the War Rager. That felt good. That was an SLT right there. Alright. We can't just play Quantum Riddler outright. Ooh, they do have a 4/4 trample, which I don't like to see. But we can just, what if we just bombard the 4/4 and then play our own 4/4, attack for 3, and then get a counter on our War Rager. Okay, War Rager is doing pretty good with our tapper over here. That's pretty nice. All right, this is going well. All right, we just need another blue source for the Riddler to do much. But we can Ore Plate Pangolin, warp this in, give it a counter, attack with lots of stuff. Galactic Wayfarer, sure. That happens. Ooh, Pain for All. They do have 2 mana up, so they could deal 3 damage to something, but not 5. What else could they do with this? I think this actually seems kind of better than what we were going to do. Pain for All on the frontline War Rager. Hit the Wayfarer. Then let's warp out this 3/3. And then let's attack for a bunch. 11. Nice. Okay. And then we get another counter on our War Rager. This thing's huge. And they're also playing green-red, so they're going to have to deal damage to the War Rager to kill it. Oh, no, they just have to get it. That's pretty annoying. But we do have a 5/6 now with Pain for All on it, which is pretty nice. Okay, feeling good. Feeling good about this. We still get to play Pangolin. Oh, we can't do the Mechan thing we wanted, but Pain for All made that attack really, really scary. And now opponent has to deal with the rest of what we're doing. Okay, draw cards. That sounds great. Looking for a way out. I don't think there is one if they're going to spend their turn drawing cards. They could have a bounce spell. So that's something. Or a Shattered Wings? Biomechan Engineer. Not good enough. Alright. This is awesome. Alright, we're kicking ass right now. Full Bore. Hell yeah, Full Bore. I think that just means we want to warp, right? Draw a card. If you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand, you get to do that. Okay, so what if we tap this and play this Pangolin, and then we will warp out our Quantum Riddler. That goes on the stack. We draw 2 cards. We play Full Bore on the Quantum Riddler, and then we attack with everybody that's important, or everybody that can. Let's go! Yes! Let's go! Alright, kill the Biomechan Engineer. And they're dead. Whew, that was nice. That was really nice. Whew. Okay, we go first. We do have the Riddler. We have the colors of mana that we care about, so I think we just keep this hand. Okay, this is good. We'll play an island and pass the turn. We'll flash in the Galeblade dude. And then Surveil on our following turn. Flash in a 1/1. Let's play a mountain. We will just go to combat and then play a Wormwall Sweeper. And, ooh, Mechan next turn is kind of nice, actually. And then lands afterwards. I actually don't hate that. Ramp into the Quantum Riddler, which is going to be brutal for our opponent, especially if we play Pain for All on it. Cool. Let's play a land. Let's... Actually, you know what? We are getting a land next turn. I would like to just play this, actually. War Rager does mean that we get to do something with this. Doesn't turn into an actual creature this turn, though. You know what? Let's just ramp the way we're supposed to. Let's go to combat. Oh, they could just kill the Zookeeper, which it feels like that's what they want to do. Destroy her. Let's. I kind of don't want to attack, and then if I do this turn, that means next turn I can tap these 3, make it a 2/2 attack for 2, and put a counter on the War Rager. Not the craziest of turns. Galactic Wayfarer, okay. Well, putting a counter on our War Rager will matter in that situation, actually. So let's play this. tap this, and then attack for 2, because we're not blocking the Galactic Wayfarer. But now we have a 3/4 that does block it, so that's pretty nice. And Quantum Riddler, if we draw a land next turn, we play land. We could just slam Quantum Riddler, I guess. Or we could just play it for value to draw a card. Orbital Plunge. Alright, that's interesting. Not obsessed with that. We did get a land. I do think I want to just warp this. Draw a card. Full bore? Nope, no full bore. But we will just play Turbo Drone, because we do get to do that next turn then. Attack for 3. And our plan is just to win the air. This goes safely away into the exile zone. And then next turn we can play it, haste it out. Slash whatever else we feel like doing. Draw more cards. Attack us for 3. We will take the 3. Let's see. 2 removal spells. Okay. Alright. That's interesting. Very interesting. We still get to draw a card no matter what. I like just playing this Quantum Riddler. Drawing a... Nice. Tapping this to give it haste. Attacking like this. Are they going to block or go to 9? It also is a... Oh, it's just a 5/7 for the turn. So they could have another Orbital Plunge, which would be kind of a bummer. But I think we should play Command Bridge, and we should tap down our Gale Blade that draws us a card later. And we can, if we need to chump, which we could, because we don't really want to take 6, chumping the Sweeper sounds perfectly fine. Or chumping with the Sweeper. Though, let's see, this is 6, 7, 8, 9. So we do have lethal in the air if they do attack us, so maybe we just don't chump. Deal 2 to everything. That does kill... And they might have deal a bombard. No, just a 1. Okay. To go to 11. Alright, so they're not, like, dead, but... No attacks? Just on the ground? Yes, they're attacking for 6. Okay. Interesting. Pain for All would have been really sweet there. Ooh, Divert Disaster is great, actually. 2... I don't have 8 mana to do everything this turn. I do kind of like the idea of, like, Quantum Riddler comes to this, shoot that, and then hold up Divert Disaster. I could attack for 2 and they go to 9 and they hold up this and they don't want to attack because of things. Kind of like that play. Okay, they go to 9, we pass the turn. Hold up Divert Disaster. For any sort of removal spell or anything, or even just the worm. Because diverting the worm, I'm totally fine with too. They could spend their turn just putting the boosters on the Wayfarer. That would be kind of annoying. But then we can like attack into it. If they sniff out a like counterspell. Currently, if they play Plunge, we do get to counter that, which I'm really happy to counter a Plunge on my Riddler. Also, getting this counterspell out of my hand so that I get to draw 2 cards at my upkeep would be really cool. Nope, we're just going to crack a lander. That's fine. Just crack your landers and be like, we're ramping. Means that this... Okay, well, I still am going to hit this. Alright, that's great. That's great. They can't put the boosters on. We get to draw 2 cards. Oh, do we have enough? 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 3. Oh, baby. Here we go, folks. This is what we're talking about. This is what I'm saying. We are smacking face. Bam! Got him. Whew. That was a nice top deck. That was a really nice top deck. Whew. We're at 2 wins right now. We just need 2 more, and then we get our money back, and we're feeling good. Okay, all right. We just get all our colors. That's nice. That's really nice. Sweeper on 2, Hellkite on 3, or Turbo Drone, either or whatever. Yeah, we'll keep this. This is very, very pretty. Very pretty hand. Ooh, baby, we get to do it. Oh, we're not playing that anymore. We're playing Zookeeper Mechan on 2. That's going to be brutal. A brutal card here. Mechan comes down. Next turn, we Nova Hellkite. Ooh. Interesting. Artifact or creature, okay. Opponent's playing Jund. And they have, okay, Weftstalker Ardent, Warped, and then playing a Terrabotanist. Alright, so we unfortunately don't get to snipe anything with our Nova Hellkite, but I still think that we're going to warp it out. Deal 1 there. We're going to attack for 4, smash him for 4, and then hope to draw a land. Because if we draw a land, then we get to just play the Nova Hellkite, do that again the following turn. And if they attack us, we might just full bore and kill the Terrabotanist, but I guess they are gaining life, which is annoying. I don't like them doing that. So we'll see. It does put our Zookeeper Mechan in a scary spot for sure. And they can also tell that we have something because it keeps pausing. Oh, they really don't have any X-ones, huh? Pretty annoying. I guess why would they attack with the Terrabotanist when we have a 1/3? Yeah, it makes sense. No land. This is kind of annoying. We can Sweeper. I think we need to Sweeper to look for lands. Wow. We really need lands here. I don't think I can afford to get rid of this Lost in Space. We don't have enough removal spells. But I really don't want to draw it. Yeah, I'll dump both of those, actually. We'll use the Interceptor to get back the Quantum Riddler. So that's not that scary. But we will play a 3/2. And then we'll pass the turn. All right. Ice Cave Crasher. You can tap to Plasma Bolt us? That would be kind of annoying. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Ooh, that's not good. We cannot get rid of a 4/6. Very well. All right, we're at 13. All right, pretty scary stuff here. Once again, did not draw a land, which we needed. I think we're just going to play the Interceptor to go get the Quantum Riddler because we need to draw cards. I'll pass the turn. Didn't get a counter here. Doesn't block anything profitably. Yeah, the fact that we went for a really scary, like, play instead of playing the Wormhole Sweeper to make sure we got lands. Ooh. We go to 12. This does not look good. We're going to take 5 plus 5. That's 10. We'll go to 2. Going to 2 is bad. But going to 4 is not that big a difference. I guess then we go to 1. We don't have ways to gain life. I guess we can kill this, but then we still have a trampling thing. I don't really see much happening here. Because now we're kind of locked in. It's like we have to bombard this. We have to get something up to 5 toughness, which is literally our Nova Hellkite, which is stuck over here. An Ice Cave. Okay, so we are just down to 1. Finally, we get a land. Ugh, that's not enough. It's not enough. We have to bombard this, but then there's 2 trampling things we can't deal with. And yeah, we just end the turn. That's all she wrote. Yep. Just play that, something else gets trampled, and we're screwed. The third Ice Cave Crasher was really, like, we could have survived this turn without the third Ice Cave Crasher. But because of that, like, we could have blocked here, and then we could have blocked here, and then we get to full bore this. And so that we wouldn't have done, but, oh, we just got mana screwed, man. That's brutal. It's brutal when your hand has the perfect mana, like we have all of our colors, and then we just don't draw any more lands. That's brutal. That's brutal. I guess we're just getting punished because we wanted to get the Nova Hellkite down as fast as possible. We should have just tried to sweep her, but... Alright, well that's our first loss. So we're 2-1. We cannot give any more losses. This is scary times. Let's see. Opponent goes first. Yeah, I mean, I think we just keep this. Yeah, not amazing, but we do have a counterspell early if we need. Can't counter their blooms there, which is okay, I think. Oh, we got a pangolin, but I think... You know what, I think I'd rather play the Pangolin, because then next turn I can play the Command Bridge and hold up Divert Disaster. Counter their 4-drop instead of their 3-drop. Yeah, because then they would just play a Gene Pollinator. Oh, that's pretty brutal. Titan is bad. Titan is bad. I think we just play a shield mate so that we have a something. We probably have to bombard this Titan, which kind of sucks. Seed ship, I'm not really worried about. I guess it's a 4/5 flyer. That's like the worst part. Ugh. That guy's for chunk. Gotta keep tapping my pangolin. I feel like I just bombard this and like don't let it station. That's pretty annoying. And then they get to station it completely. This is terrible. Oh man. Like, we didn't hold up Divert Disaster, and it's been a disaster ever since. It's just over here, like... I can play a 3-drop, to block. We're gonna take 4 plus a bunch of other stuff. I guess that's what we do. We play this, and then we hope... Let's just decline and then pass the turn. But now they know we have a counterspell, it doesn't matter. They should have waited until their turn to do the lander thing, so that they get all the creatures vigilance and haste and shit. Let's just counter the Mechanizoa when we can, but like, we still have a 4/5 we can't deal with. And we can't even triple block this. Yeah, the game's over. This is awful. Oh my god, what is going on? Ugh, what a brutal... I really felt like this deck had the chops here, but like, Man, this is such a poor shot. This is so... Well, folks, we started out really strong. You know, 2-0. We had the dreams in front of us. And then it just didn't come together. Like, we had the bombs that we needed. Maybe we just didn't have enough synergy. Like, the games where we were, like, when the games we won, it felt really good. Like, we were crushing. Interceptor wasn't even that bad to play. I mean, this last game, our command bridges kind of screwed us a little bit. But, like, I don't know. Maybe we should have just left up that Divert Disaster. Because they really curved out and crushed us. Like, if we were able to counter, like... the Titan or, you know, the ship or any of that stuff, I think we would have been fine. But it was just like, man, they had everything that they needed. And so what are you going to do? Dang it. That was really frustrating. That was really, really frustrating to do. Well, I guess we didn't get it this time, folks. You can't win them all. And we definitely couldn't win this one. So maybe next time.